Hello, students. So I apologize I'm not here today, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about RISE before we start kind of reviewing our concepts for today that'll help you be prepared for the test next week. Now, I know that next week is the English testing week. I don't know if that means we'll do testing both days that I see you or just one of them, but I'll let you know as soon as I know. But regardless, I want you to be prepared about how the test will work. So on the RISE test, it is all done on your Chromebook via a secure testing kind of platform. So it's not through Google or anything. You enter a secure testing site. I will have a username and a password for you to use to help you get into that test. When you get onto the test, it's going to ask you to check your audio and video. So you have to, there is a part of the test, and there's many parts in the science and the math test where you may have to listen to some audio. So if you have your own headphones, I would strongly recommend bringing those or keeping those in your backpack for testing so that you can use your own. If you don't have any headphones, I can provide some for you, but it's always better for you to have your own. So the first thing we'll ask you is to check your audio. I'm not sure if you'll hear it on your end, but I can hear it on my computer. You click to play the sound, and then you verify that you heard the sound. So that lets it know that you can hear what is being done. Then you will click continue. And then this is pretty much what the page looks like. So on one side, you have a, sometimes a chart, sometimes a paragraph, sometimes a story, and then you have the questions that go along with it. So there are 12 questions in this particular section. And what I would do if I were you is I would first read the question. So what does the author include? Why does the author include the section exercise help makes you smarter? So I know that, okay, I need to look at author's purpose. That's what this question is about. So what I would do is I would read through the article and I would then come and answer the question. I may not even really have to read the whole article. I could just come to this section that's called exercise helps make you smarter, read it, and then see if one of these options seems most correct. Now, a couple of things, let's look at kind of the tools you can use on the test. So this kind of double arrow makes it bigger. So if you don't want to be distracted by any of the questions, you can make that text bigger. Another huge thing that would be helpful to you is you can use text to speech. So one of the tools that you can use is you can set it up so that it will read the section to you, or it will read the question to you. So if you're someone that you happen to be kind of a slower reader, this is a great tool to use, and it will read to you. So that's where the headphones are really helpful, is that can read it to you. It can tell you about that passage. Another hugely helpful tool that they have at your disposal is the highlighter function. So you can highlight a section to make it stand out. So for example, on this, say I wanted to remember that your brain contains hundreds of billions of microscopic cells, I can then highlight it, okay? Then it will stand out to me and I can remember it when I come to answer the questions later. So the highlighting tool is a great one to kind of make information stand out. Another tool that I personally really enjoy is called the masking tool. So what it does is it creates like a box that you can put over different parts of a text or in answer choices. So as you can see here, this is like a math question that had multiple parts, so that you could just focus on one part at a time. You can use this masking tool to block off the sections. So how I think it would work best on the test is, say I get to this question and I know for sure letter C is not the answer. So I can click up here to masking and I can create this black box. So then I can then just look at A, B, and C. You can also use the black box to like break off parts of the text. So say you're like, I've already answered a question about this section. I don't want to look at it anymore, so I'm going to put a black box over it. So it's a great way to kind of help you be able to more accurately guess on the test. And then of course you can close them so they're not permanent. So if you accidentally put it in the wrong spot, you don't have to worry about it. All right, the next tool is called the line reader. So it highlights individual lines of text in a passage or question. So say you're someone that maybe when you read, you tend to like skip words or skip lines, and or you have a hard time focusing or you're getting tired. You can use the line reader on the test and it will help you to be able to just look at one line at a time. So every line that you click on, it will highlight that line and shade everything else out. So you would click here up at the top at line reader and then see you can go line by line by line. So it's just, especially if you're finding that like your eyes are getting tired or you're getting tired or it's harder for you to read, use that line reader tool to really help you focus in on the test. Similar to the kind of like masking tool, there's also a strike-through tool that you can use to strike out answer choices. And so you activate it by opening a menu and then selecting strike-through, which I believe that menu is over here on the side. So this is where you can find your speak option. So you can have it speak the test to you or speak the question. You can also find the strike-through option here. So then you can strike through different options. And you can see you can have multiple kind of tools on at once. So like right now I have masking, line reader, and all these things open. If you click on them, it will take it off. So then I can go back to the menu and take off the strike through. Okay. So that's kind of, don't have all your tools open because that will just make it confusing. Once you're done using it, unclick it. If it's being used, it's clicked in orange. If it's unused, it's back to like that dark blue. Okay. Now, this is kind of the most important tool on the test. I think it is extremely unfair that you actually get this tool, but it's the one that really will help you the most. There is a dictionary option on the test where you can look up what words mean. So say on a test, it asks you about what an illusion is, and you're like, whoa, I do not remember what an illusion is. You can come up here to the top and click on the dictionary button, and you can type in illusion or whatever word you don't know what it means. And what it will do is it will tell you what an illusion is. So like an illusion is a reference made to something that is not directly mentioned. The dictionary can help you then correctly answer the question. So you can use this as much as you want. There's also a thesaurus option. There's also a Spanish option. So if you're a student that would like to know a word in another language in Spanish, you can. So the dictionary really can help you, make those answer choices to make sure that you really do know what the question is being asked. I, as your teacher and as your proctor, can't answer clarifying questions. So things like, what does this word mean or what does this question mean? I can't answer that. So that's why you have that dictionary kind of tool and option. So where all your tools can be found is up here at the top. You can zoom in and zoom out. So say your eyes are getting a little tired and you want to see an image closer, you can do that. Your other tools are in these kind of like 3 lines and you can see them here. Okay. So the big thing here is also up at the top, it tells you how much you have done. So if you're going to tell yourself, man, like I'm just going to take a quick break after I answer 50% of the questions, you can see it up at the top, how many questions you've answered. It also gives you a green check for every question that you answer. So if you're going to skip questions and go back and answer them later, they won't have a check mark. But if you answer a question, then you see that green check mark will pop up. The last thing that I think is important for you to know is that if you decide to take like a bathroom break during the test, the time clock does count against you. So what will happen is you'll say, Mr. May I go to the bathroom? And I'll say, sure, but you need to leave your computer up how it is. And that time will count against you. So you are allowed to take breaks, but I would strongly recommend you keep them very short and very snappy to make sure that you are not wasting your testing time. Okay. But we don't pause our test for anything. So you will keep yours open. Don't pause it. Don't close it. It stays open until you are complete. The last thing that I think is super important for you to know is the following. So you have to turn off all of your devices So if you have a cell phone or a smartwatch, what will happen is everyone will turn in their cell phones and put them against the front board, and we will all turn them off. And then if you wear like a smartwatch like I do, I have to take that off and turn it off. So we can't have anything go off during the test. And so we will ask that you take those off. You're allowed to have headphones, like I said, scratch paper, and a pencil. You also can have a free reading book. So I would strongly recommend to have a book in your backpack that you can read when you're done, because we can't move on in the test until every single person is complete. So say in that 45-minute testing period, you finish your test in 20 minutes, but someone in the class could take all the way to 45. If that's the case, we just have to wait till everyone has finished. So we can't do anything until that happens. If you are going to be absent next week, just know that there will be an alternative testing time for you. I just don't know when that will be. Okay, so if you can be here, I will allow gum. So if you want to chew gum while you take the test to help you focus, you may. You may also have water, but other than that, there can be no other food or drinks in the testing time. But I'll have scratch paper for you, pencils for you. So when you're done, you can draw or doodle, but you can also use the scratch paper to help jog your memory of some information. So I hope that is helpful for you. If you have any questions, you can email me. I'll try my best to answer them to help you get prepared for that test.